Hello and welcome to our information video all about training to become a primary school teacher. Thank you very much for expressing an interest in entering a career in primary teaching. We think it's the best job in the world and we hope that you get a little bit of a feel about what we offer as an ITT provider as we work through this session.
So just to welcome ourselves, my name is Rachel Berry and I'm the Assistant SCITT Leader. This is Hayley Rouse and she is the SCITT Leader. We've also got two amazing administrators, Catherine Harrison and Yvonne Keane. Please contact any of us if you have any questions at all and we will make sure you're directed to the right person. So routes to QTS and what is the difference? So we are a school-centred initial teacher training programme, and in essence what that means is that the majority of your training is done in school. You're learning on the job. You do also have some academic study. It works out at about a day a week here at Chepping SCITT for your centre-based training, but all of the centre-based training that you do, you are then implementing at school in practice. So you're always linking that theory to real life situations. There are many other routes, but a university-based route would give you more academic study and less time in a school. So I think for you it's worth considering what appeals to you most. Are you somebody that sort of learns by doing, or are you somebody that prefers more of the academic study?
So why choose a school-centred initial teacher training programme then? So it links to what Rachel's just said on the slide before. If you learn better by a more hands-on practical approach to studying and learning, then this might be the route into teaching for you. There is a large proportion of time on the course devoted to being in the classroom and it's supplemented by some academic study. And we'll talk more about what the course looks like and the outline of it later on. Through our course, as you are classroom based, you will have a tutor or mentor on hand all the time to offer support and training. And that's usually your classroom teacher that you're placed with. So they are there on a daily basis to give you high quality feedback and help you to develop across the year and across placements. There is an expectation of employment with our course. We work really closely with about 40 partner schools. And we're used as a bit of a recruitment strategy in that sense because of the high quality training that we provide. Of course, we offer a PGCE that is optional and it's facilitated by us, but it's provided by Oxford Brookes University. Again, we'll talk a little bit more in detail about that later on in this presentation. And the weekly training that we supplement your classroom experiences with is based at Chepping Primary Academy in High Wycombe, and it's led by experienced and practicing teachers and school leaders. And we take these leaders from our partnership schools across Buckinghamshire and beyond so that we have a wealth of experience and knowledge being shared in those training sessions.
I think as well that's one element of our course that we really do see as one of our strengths. The teachers that provide the training are not only exceptional, they're inspiring, they're exciting to listen to, but also they're in the classroom. So everything is so up to date and relevant to what you're going to be doing in school. Why our programme? Our aim is to ensure that the best possible teacher training and school placements for all of our trainees. We're primary specialists. We're based in a primary school and we are primary school teachers ourselves. We have two programmes, either the 3 to 7 programme or the 5 to 11 programme. We're school based, so you're always in a school learning on the job, but also having that opportunity to apply the theory of what you're learning. We're centred in an outstanding primary academy. That gives us the support and a network of exceptional teachers and leaders to work alongside us. We're also supported by highly experienced and exceptional practitioners across the local primary schools that we work with. So many amazing teachers that deliver our training, that support our trainees and work with us and guide us and support us. We've also got a flexible programme. We need to make sure that our programme meets your needs. You might have a special interest within a school. It might be that you've got a real interest in working with children with special needs, or that you really enjoy working in upper key stage 2, or perhaps even that you live in an area and you don't drive. We talk to you and we understand your needs to make sure that we can meet those and we can support you in those, so that your journey is kind of individualised and there for you to get the most out of it.
So we mentioned on the previous slide there that we are based in an Ofsted rated outstanding academy, and we're based at Chepping Primary Academy, which is located in Cressex in High Wycombe. We've been outstanding at Chepping for over 10 years now, and it's something that we're really proud of. And as Rachel said, it gives us a great network of teachers and senior leaders to support us in delivering what we believe is an exceptional initial teacher training provision. So Chepping is also a national support school. What that means is leaders within the academy have been recognised for their specialism, and they are placed within schools not only in Buckinghamshire but possibly around the country to support them in developing and improving standards. Chepping is also a lead behaviour hub school, and again, similar to National Support School, what that means is that senior staff within the school support other schools with their behaviour needs and requirements. Chepping is also the lead school for our SCITT programme, so we are accredited to award qualified teacher status, which is what you need to be able to teach in England. And we're part of a partnership trust, an academy chain, and we trade under the name of Inspiring Futures Partnership Trust, which means we have schools, other schools within the partnership. We have Abbey View, which is based in Dawes Hill in High Wycombe, and we have Kingsbrook View in the north of the county in Aylesbury. And we're really proud to have a group of schools working together to drive forwards good and outstanding teachers for our local community.
So partnership schools, when we talk about our partnership schools, they are the schools that work with us and support our trainees, and our trainees are placed in their schools for their teaching practices. We work with more than 40 schools across Buckinghamshire, and geographically the range is quite far and wide, from High Wycombe, Marlow, Amersham, Chesham, Great Missenden, Stokenchurch, Slough, Aylesbury, far and wide. You know, some of the schools are larger town or city schools, some of them are little village schools, so a real range of schools in location, demographic, and so on. But all of our schools work together to provide the best possible training and classroom experience. We all want the same thing. We all want to support teacher training. We all want to train teachers so that the children in our schools have got the best teachers possible. We also really care about education and love the jobs that we do, and we want to welcome more people into our profession. Because we've got contrasting types of schools, it gives our trainees different types of experience, which is really, really important part of their professional development and progress throughout the year. The partnership heads are really invested in supporting us. You know, from working with us, it means that they have access to great teachers for their, you know, for the futures of their schools. So we're all aiming towards the same thing. They guide us and support us through working with us on an advisory level, but they also come onto our interview board when we're interviewing applicants and support us in that process as well.
So on the screen in front of you are our outcomes for the last 4 years, and you can see that they are all pretty positive. We're really proud of our trainees over the years, and we're really proud to report that all of our trainee teachers have been recruited and employed, be that in local schools and partnership schools across the country, maybe even they've relocated, but also abroad. So we're really proud of the outcomes that you can see on the screen there in front of you, and we think it's testament to the great provision that we provide here through our SCITT course.
It's also really lovely for us when we visit schools with current trainees and we're in a school and we've got somebody that's, oh, we trained with you 5 years ago, and you know, it's so rewarding to see them doing really well in their career, in varying roles of, you know, class teachers, leadership roles, having specialisms, but most importantly to see them really happy in their career choice and doing a great job for the children that they teach. So the programme, qualified teacher status, the QTS that you'll keep hearing us talk about, that's the qualification that you need to teach in England. And we are accredited to award you with that qualification if you meet the teacher standards at the end of the training year. The PGCE is accredited by Oxford Brookes University if you choose to do that qualification as well. So what's a typical week look like? It varies, but this is sort of a rough guide, and we also front load our training. So in the first term you'll have more centre-based training as you build up to more teaching in a school, and we also feel that you need that training at the start of the course before you go into a classroom and start teaching. But on average you'll have 3 to 4 days in school each week. And a day of training, or maybe 2 days of training here at the SCITT, or sometimes at one of the other partnership schools. If you decide to do the PGCE training, you have 13 days across the year. That happens here at the SCITT though, so they're days that you won't be in your placement school. You have a main placement school. That's the school that you go to for your first placement in the autumn term, and then you go back there again in the spring term. Then you have a contrasting placement, and that's for your second term, and that's when you'll be in a contrasting key stage, but a contrasting type of school as well, so you can really look at and understand those differences that schools face. As well as that, we offer additional placements. We do a pre-key stage placement, so if you're on the 3 to 7 programme, you'd go into a nursery setting, and if you're on the 5 to 11 programme, you'd go into a reception setting. But then a pre-key stage setting as well, so 5 to 11, a little bit scary. You go to a secondary school to see the transition into key stage 3. And if you're on the 3 to 7 programme, you'd have a placement in a key stage 2 classroom. As well as that, you have a placement in a PRU, a pupil referral unit, and a special needs school. So you can really look at and understand the extremes of need that some children face, and when those needs can't be supported in a mainstream setting, how they are brilliantly supported in other settings, which is a really great learning opportunity for you to understand how those specialists manage to do that. When you are on your placements, you are supported by your teacher tutor. That's the teacher that you have in your classroom, and they have been selected because they're an excellent practitioner and have those mentoring skills that are needed to support you. In your school, you'll also have a school-based mentor. That will be a senior member of the leadership team, and they are there to support you pastorally, to make sure that you're okay, that you're getting all of the support that you need, but also that extra level of experience and expertise to support you throughout your placement. You, as well as that, have a quality assurance mentor, and that is that's somebody that we assign to you at the beginning of the course. Most of our quality assurance mentors are ex-head teachers. We've got some Senkos that work across the borough, really experienced practitioners, and they are another level of support and experience to come in and to give you that guidance, but also just to make sure that things are running smoothly, that you're getting all of the support that you need.
Okay, on the screen in front of you then is an example of what our course calendar might look like, and it can be overwhelming initially to see all of those different colours and marks across the screen there. However, what we wanted to demonstrate to you through this slide is you might be able to see there in orange and green the amount of time that you are based within the school. So you can see that through our school-centred initial teacher training, you are spending the majority of the year in that classroom learning with your hands-on experience and on the ground from professionals who live and breathe the classroom and teaching. You'll also see on there in a light blue shade, those are the training sessions that we offer here at the centre. And as Rachel said earlier, we do front load that, so in the row across the top of the screen there, you'll see lots of training sessions, and essentially we want to empower you and give you the knowledge and the skill and the pedagogy so that you feel prepared to go into your first placement school and build up that teaching responsibility. You'll see that over the terms, so the top term is the autumn term, spring term and summer term there at the bottom, that those teaching centre-based sessions, they tail off a little bit. And that's because across the year, the percentage of teaching responsibility that you have will gradually increase. And we want to give you a really good run at teaching maybe a sequence of lessons or a proportion of the week in order to achieve against the teacher standards, which you would be assessed against at the end of the year in preparation for the award of QTS.
So centre-based training, that's the training that we've spoken about that happens here at the SCITT most weeks. Across the year, you'll have 30 full days of training. Most of that happens here at the SCITT. However, it's really lovely some of the time when trainers want to facilitate that in their own setting. Often they've kind of got, a specialism in science or outdoor learning, and it's a really great opportunity to go there and to see them in action with the resources and the settings that they've got. So yeah, majority here, but often at another school as well. Every session is underpinned by reading and research. It's really important that you understand why things happen in a primary school, what the research is behind that, the reasoning for things. So that throughout your practice and your profession, you'll be able to link that theory to what's happening in the classroom, to what you're doing. There's a broad range of training that happens across the year. You're trained in every subject area. Some of them with more focus, such as phonics, as it's a national priority. But training is
it's broad and balanced, isn't it?
It
matches the demands of the primary curriculum. So you're trained within those core subjects of English, maths, early reading, but also the foundation subjects such as geography or modern foreign languages. Those training sessions are supplemented by specialists who drive safeguarding initiatives within our partnership schools, really bringing to the forefront, your role as a teacher in protecting the children in your class, but also sessions that equip you with the key skills of creating a learning environment, such as behaviour management, and that comes quite early on in our training, because clearly that's something that you need before you go into your main placement schools in order to build those trusted and safe relationships with children.
The training sessions that we have here are linked to what you're doing in school as well. So if you were to have a training session on behaviour management, that would be linked by a smart target within your placement, so that you are practicing what you're learning.
Okay, so assessment for qualified teacher status takes the form mostly of what you can see on the screen there. So I'll go through the different points and we will elaborate on them as we go. So it's quite an evidence-based assessment process. From your placement school teacher, tutors and mentors, you're going to be getting feedback against the weekly targets that are set during your weekly target meetings, which is a specific allocated time each week that you are entitled to. You'll be measured against them through different aspects of the week, really. So that might be on formally observed lessons. It might be on some wider reading that you've undertaken or some observations of experienced teachers. We also have termly summative reports. The first one, for example, is written by us, so we can really ensure that you're getting those fundamental experiences of what it's like to be a teacher in the autumn term, but they're also personalised to you and the progress that you're making across each term with your placements. We have half-termly observations by the quality assurance mentors. As Rachel said, they're assigned to you at the beginning of the year. And what they do is they come in and they might observe you in a lesson with your teacher tutor, and they're there to make sure that you are getting the experiences and the coaching opportunities and feedback that you are entitled to as initial teacher trainers. We collect evidence throughout the year. We have 3 assessment points, and in those assessment points you might be asked to write an assignment or present to us about a certain theory or strategy. We may also be looking at your classroom planning and assessment strategies throughout the year and how you're able to adapt your teaching for the needs of the children in your class. And we will be asking you to share with us some observation templates and proof of professional discussion, and we try to align them as closely as possible to the teacher standards as well.
So the PGCE. It's a Postgraduate Certificate in Education, and it is an optional part of our programme. We ask you to really consider this, if it's something you're thinking about doing, think carefully about how you balance and manage your workload. There are 3 modules and 3 written assignments, 4,000 words. Each module is worth 20 master's levels credits. It is an extra workload, extra reading, extra research, and that time for assignment writing. Our course is a very full-time course already. Some trainees love this extra opportunity to learn the theories of learning and teaching. For others, they feel that it is enough just doing the training course with us. If it's something that you're interested in doing, speak to us about it, but also reach out to Oxford Brookes University and ask questions so that you can decide if it's the right thing for you or not.
So we do need to talk about funding. Clearly, this training comes at a cost, and you can see the two different funding alternatives there on the screen in front of you. So we offer a tuition fee route into initial teacher training. The cost is £7,750 if you are opting for the QTS route only. But if you would like the additional challenge of a PGCE, the cost is £9,250. And you can pay for this either privately, or you might obtain a student loan in the way you would have done for your undergraduate degree. We have two routes and two courses that we provide. That's our general primary 3 to 7, so that's our early years and Key Stage 1 route, and general primary 5 to 11, which is our Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2 route. You may already have experience as an unqualified teacher or a higher level teaching assistant, so the salaried route may well be an option for you. It costs £7,750 again for QTS and the same as the tuition fee for PGCE, and that can be self-financed, or you should have the support of a placement school who may offer to pay on your behalf for you to undertake the training. You're likely to be given some teaching responsibility from the start because of your experience, and we have the expectation that you may progress at a slightly faster rate to those who haven't had as much experience. And again, that route is open through our 3 to 7 and 5 to 11 programme. It's really important just to emphasise, with the salaried application route, we don't fund those places ourselves as a SCITT. You must have the support of the school.
So course requirements. To apply or to begin our course, you must have GCSE level or equivalent at C or above in maths, English and science. If you don't have those qualifications, you can sit an equivalency test and we could give you a conditional offer. You must also have a degree. And if you are in your final year of your degree, you might say, I'm predicted a 2-1, and we could again give you a conditional offer with the expectation that you obtain that grade. As an ITT provider, we must assess your fundamental proficiencies in maths and English prior to the award of the QTS. We will assess this at interview point. We offer a maths and an English task. This is an opportunity for us and you to look at your areas of strength, but also any areas that you might have to work hard to improve at over the training year. And we can support you in doing that and offer guidance workshops to support that, but it is ultimately your responsibility to ensure that you are proficient in those subject areas.
If you hold qualifications from a country outside of the UK, then it's necessary for us as a condition of our offer that you prove that they are equivalent to the grades that you've seen on the slide before. And we use a company to do that called ENIC. You may know it as NARIC, that's its former trading name. There is a link there on the screen for you. It's really useful if, as you're applying or even before you're applying, you've put your qualifications through ENIC and you have that record ready to go. Because again, if we were to offer you a place, it would be conditional on the basis that your international qualifications were of the same conditions.
So assessing proficiency in English and maths. I think I've already spoken about this a bit already, so sorry to repeat myself, but it is our responsibility to assess your proficiency at entry level, but also before you are awarded QTS. It is ultimately your responsibility to address any gaps in subject knowledge throughout the course, but we can support you in doing that. So these skills will be assessed at interview point, but throughout the course as well.
So how to apply, and this is the same for any ITT provider. This is how you would apply for any. So you must apply through the Department for Education Apply system, and if you do a Google search for that, it will come up for you. Okay, and that's irrespective of your funding choices and student finance. Those are done separately to the DFE apply, and there is guidance for you on our website about how to go about that. Applications for this year are already open. Although we're not confined in terms of how many places we have a responsibility to place good applicants in our partnership schools without overwhelming the current requirements in education.
When you apply for any teaching training position, you will be asked for references. These references must be of people of appropriate professional standing, so not your friend or your mum. If you're working in a school at the moment, it might be the head teacher or another member of staff within that school, or it could be somebody from your university, a tutor, so an academic referee. Those people will be asked if there is any reason that the applicant should not be working with children or vulnerable adults.
It's really important that your referee knows that you are using them as a reference point, because that is a statutory declaration that they are making, and if they work in education, they are duty bound to safeguard children in the local community, and they need to be aware that they're making that statement on your behalf. So once you've put your application in, we would hope to be able to invite you to interview, and on the screen there are some examples of what the interview process might look like depending on your experience. So everyone would be given some preparation reading, and that would be to do with the national curriculum or a current national priority, but definitely what we call the Keeping Children Safe in Education document, which is updated on a yearly basis. We'd ask you to read those documents really carefully, because we would be looking for examples of you reading them through our panel interview, which would include a member of the SCITT leadership team and a head teacher from one of our partnership schools. We'd also expect to see evidence of that wider reading in the form of a presentation about a children's book, one that you're really familiar with, and we would be looking to see how you could plan and deliver tasks linked to the different areas of the national curriculum or the early years framework. The interview process, as we've mentioned already, will give us an opportunity to assess your proficiency in English and maths, so there is a written task and a mathematical task. If you are a salaried applicant and you have the support of a school, it may be that we come out to observe you teaching or leading an activity with a class or a small group of children as well. But please be prepared to talk about why you think you'd be a good primary school teacher beyond the initial surface answers of, I love working with children and I want to make a change. Really think about, current issues in education and any skill sets that you have that may benefit the children of a primary school setting and the staff as well.
Thank you so much.